How's it going, everybody? Hope you are having a great Christmas Eve / Christmas whenever you're watching this. I just want to bring you guys a quick update on all the two-way cases that I get asked about quite a bit. Figured this would be a little Christmas gift to everybody to answer all those questions about the status of all these Second Amendment cases going on in California and nationally. So let's talk about these. Also, real quick, I just want to take the time to thank everybody who has watched my channel over the last 2.5 years, who has liked, commented, subscribed especially. Thank you guys for all the support that you have shown me. The last video I made, I was thanking you guys for that, and even more of you guys subscribed. And again, I just cannot thank you guys enough for all the support you've shown me, especially kind of during this holiday season, just reflecting a lot on where I am right now in my life and the amazing opportunities I've been given because of you guys who support me, support this channel. I cannot be thankful enough. I am super honored that you guys show me all the support that you do. And I just want to take this time to just thank you guys again. And once again, if you want to give me a Christmas gift, consider clicking subscribe because it's free to do and it really does help support this channel. But regardless, thank you guys so much for all of your support. Also, I want to let you know that this content is powered by the Firearms Policy Coalition. So head on over to joinfpc.org to help support the Second Amendment cause. Thank you again, Firearms Policy Coalition, for supporting this channel. So I guess in the intro in this video, I'm just gonna make a quick video update on a lot of the major Second Amendment cases that I get asked about pretty much frequently. A lot of these status of these cases have changed recently. There's been some movement that has especially changed a lot of the domino effect that some of these cases have. So let's jump into these. The first case we're gonna be talking about is Duncan v. Bonta. Prior, it was known as Duncan v. Becerra. And this is the case challenging California's ban on so-called large capacity magazines, or magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. Recently, this case was heard by an en banc panel in the Ninth Circuit, so it got all the way up to the en banc panel in the Ninth Circuit. The en banc panel in the Ninth Circuit recently actually ruled this month on this case and found that California's ban on so-called large capacity magazines did not violate our Second Amendment rights. Subsequently, after that, a stay of mandate was sought by the plaintiffs in that case and was ultimately recently granted by the Ninth Circuit. What that means is that the status quo of Freedom Week magazines and pre-ban magazines stays the same. And essentially this case will now be going up to the Supreme Court and will be seeking Supreme Court review. The next case we're gonna be talking about is Rupp v. Bonta, prior known as Rupp v. Becerra. And this is a challenge to California's ban on so-called assault weapons. This case is a challenge to California's ban on so-called assault weapons based on various makes and models. And it is also a characteristics challenge. So California has two kind of different categories of firearms that they outlaw as so-called assault weapons. There is a list of make and models. And then there is also firearms with characteristics like a semi-automatic centerfire rifle with a detachable magazine that has an offending feature like a pistol grip or a flash hider. Rupp made its way to the Ninth Circuit and was before a 3-judge panel in the Ninth Circuit. They heard oral arguments in October of 2020, and we're waiting for them to issue a ruling. This case was initially put on hold for a Duncan decision for the en banc panel to rule in Duncan. So it was kind of in abeyance and was in a holding pattern. Well, like I just mentioned, Duncan was recently ruled on. So then this case was going to move forward. Ultimately, what happened is all the parties agreed that this case needed to be put on hold until the Supreme Court issues their decision in the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association case. So as of right now, this case, the Rupp v. Bonta case, the challenge to California's ban on so-called assault weapons, is currently on hold and is waiting for the Supreme Court's decision in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association. Playing off that, the next case we're gonna be talking about is Miller v. Bonta / Miller v. Becerra. This is another case challenging California's ban on so-called assault weapons, but this case is only a challenge to those characteristic bans as so-called assault weapons. Now, this case was on hold for Rupp, but now that Rupp is going to be on hold for the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association case, through proxy, Miller will also be on hold until New York State Rifle and Pistol Association is decided. So you can see how some of these dominoes have kind of changed their roles and how now one case is going to be relying on a completely different case. The next case we're going to be talking about is Rody v. Bonta / Rody v. Becerra, which is the California Ammo Day case. This is a challenge to California's restrictions on ammunition purchases, where we have to go through background checks or eligibility checks to purchase ammunition, and our inability to actually purchase ammunition online and get it sent directly to our home. Now, this case made its way to the Ninth Circuit. A 3-judge panel in the Ninth Circuit actually heard oral arguments in November of 2020 on this case. And the 3-judge panel, again, has yet to actually issue their ruling because they are waiting on a mandate to be issued in the Duncan ruling. However, like I mentioned prior, Duncan's mandate is stayed pending a Supreme Court review. Therefore, Rody will also remain in a holding pattern until the Supreme Court decides what they need to do in Duncan. So those are the major Ninth Circuit cases, and primarily those are all California cases that a lot of people are anticipating. Now let's move to some of the major Supreme Court cases that a lot of people are anticipating and ask me quite frequently about. The first big one and the major one that a lot of these cases are pretty much hinging on is the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association v. Bruen case. Oral arguments were heard in this case on November 3rd. I did a whole video breakdown of my opinion and takeaways from that if you want to watch that on the channel. But again, this is a challenge to the state of New York's proper cause standard, where they say you must have a proper cause to be issued a permit to carry concealed in the state of New York. And really what that ultimately leads to is only those people who are elites, VIPs, being able to actually get a license to carry concealed. Since oral arguments have been heard, now we are just simply waiting for the Supreme Court to issue their decision. The latest the Supreme Court can decide on this case is around June-ish, I believe. So we are going to be waiting for them to issue that decision. Could be kind of mid next year. But once that happens, the floodgates for a lot of these cases likely will also open. The next major case we're going to be talking about is Young v. Hawaii, which deals with Hawaii's open carry scheme. This was heard by an en banc panel in the Ninth Circuit. And ultimately what the Ninth Circuit came to in that determination is that you do not have a right under the Second Amendment to carry a firearm out in public openly. And under prior Supreme Court precedent, that also there is this precedent that says that you cannot carry concealed out in public for self-defense under the Second Amendment. So ultimately in the Ninth Circuit, the current precedent is that the Second Amendment does not give you any protection outside the home whatsoever. Now currently Young v. Hawaii is also on hold in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has put it in a holding pattern until they issue their New York State Rifle and Pistol Association case. Usually this is done at the Supreme Court level because they believe that the decision they are going to issue may implicate or may actually have some sort of impact on those other cases. So therefore they put them on hold. So again, Young v. Hawaii, the open carry case out of Hawaii, is on hold. The next case is ANJRPC v. Grewal, which is a New Jersey case, which deals with the New Jersey ban on magazines, very similar to California's ban on so-called large capacity magazines. This case again made its way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has also put this case on hold. So even if the Duncan case makes its way up to the Supreme Court, the likelihood is, just like with the ANJRPC case, they will also put the California magazine ban case on hold. The next case we're going to be talking about is Apashian v. Grewal, which is a challenge to the ATF's bump stock ban. Again, this case made its way up to the Supreme Court. A petition for certiorari was sought. This was initially distributed for conference for the Supreme Court to consider in December, but then was removed from the conference because the GOA bump stock case out of the Sixth Circuit actually had a ruling, and that was an 8-8 tie. Then supplemental briefs were issued in the Apashian case pointing to the GOA case, and this Apashian case was set to be rescheduled for conference, but ultimately it was never actually rescheduled for conference, which signals that the Supreme Court is actually going to put this case as well on hold. Now the last case we're going to be talking about is the Bianchi v. Frosh case. This is a case we haven't talked about a whole lot on this channel, but I have had a video on it. And this is a challenge to Maryland's ban on so-called assault weapons. Similar to how the state of California has structured a ban on so-called assault weapons, the state of Maryland has done the same. A writ of certiorari has been filed up to the Supreme Court and is seeking Supreme Court review. Currently, we're waiting to have the replies and responses and all that stuff actually issued in that issue up in the Supreme Court. What the Supreme Court will do with this case is unknown. They might actually put this case on hold as well until they rule in the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association case. But that's kind of the gambit of all the major cases that I get asked about a lot. Mainly a lot of them out of the Ninth Circuit because they deal with California issues, and then a lot of those Supreme Court issues that are now currently waiting for the Supreme Court review. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Also, if you like this video and like support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm or fuel Al Gore's rhythm. It adds fuel to his jet and it signals to YouTube that you guys see value in these videos and in this type of 2A news. Again, I just want to thank everybody who has liked, commented, subscribed, who's hit the notification bell. You guys are directly impacting this channel. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you've shown me over the 2.5 years. I could have never imagined that any of this would have ever happened. In my wildest dreams would I have ever thought that I would get to do this. I have a community like you guys, have people that support what I do, support the Second Amendment cause like I do, and actually just help me to live out my dream in talking about Second Amendment rights and actually getting to do Second Amendment law. So again, I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are probably the greatest gift I could have ever received. And so I'm just more than happy going into this holiday season, going into Christmas. I could not ask for anything more than what you guys have given me. So thank you again so much for all of your support. So as always, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and never forget this nation was built by armed scholars. This nation will maintain by armed scholars.